What's going on, y'all? Coach J Law B-Ball here with I Love Basketball TV, and we're teaching you guys how to dribble the ball better. Let's get it. So we're gonna go over 3 main concepts to help you guys be able to dribble the basketball better. Now, with each of these concepts, I'm gonna give you guys a drill or two just so you can focus on being able to be 100% with these concepts. And understand that everybody has the capability of being an amazing ball handler. It's just how much effort you put in to working on your craft. So I want you guys to get to the gym and work on these concepts. First concept is gonna be understanding how to absorb the basketball better. So a lot of times I see players be really stiff with their receiving hand. So as soon as that ball hits, they get this really tense arm and tense hand that kind of hits the ball and then it just bounces off. What we need to get better at is learning how to absorb the ball, meaning when that ball hits the hand, absorbing ball to get outside of our frame. And this is gonna help us with multiple different things. First and foremost, if I absorb the ball, then it gives me more time to allow myself to manipulate that ball and read how the defender's playing me. So if I wanted to do, say, a skip, I can cross, let the ball float as I absorb that ball out to space, and then as I change direction, it gives me the opportunity to know whether I have an attack, a counter, or just get into my shot. It also gives us the ability to have ultimate control of the basketball. So when we handle the rock, it's really important to understand that it all depends on, it all matters, our strength of the dribble, all matters on how long we can keep that ball in our hand or maintain that dribble. If I just let the ball hit my hand and then I'm quick to release it, now I'm just working on these quick paths that aren't necessarily gonna be good for every basketball situation. So what I want us to do for this first drill on practicing how to absorb basketball is just practice 3 different moves. We're gonna have a crossover in which we find the ball and have really slow dribbles, and we just let the ball pendulum and it swings super wide. And you're gonna let ball hit hand and just feel it absorb in that hand and extend all the way outside your frame. The second is gonna be between. Same thing. I let the ball absorb outside my frame, really slow and controlled dribbles. I'm not directing it to a different location on the ground. It's the same spot every single time. Do the other side, between, let it float, really absorb that basketball. Try to get equally as good with left and right hand on your receiving, absorbing that ball. And then we'll go behind the back. This is always the hardest one for you guys, even for me. But really hit that ball right underneath that frame. I'm gonna give a little bonus tip for you guys too. On those behind the back moves, or behind the back dribbles, make sure you're sitting into space. A lot of us feel like, oh, we need to suck that butt in so you don't let the ball hit it. But you actually have less surface area when you stand completely upright. And it's probably gonna hit off your heels. When you sit, you now open up this pocket of space between thigh and calf for that ball just to bounce right into, and it makes it a lot easier to receive and absorb that basketball. Once again, if I stand up, now my hand is right here by my calf, so a lot of times you guys will dribble, it'll hit your leg or your heel and bounce all over the place. So that's a little hack for you guys to practice those behind the back moves. The second concept that I want us to focus on with our ability to handle the ball better is dribbling through the elbow. So kind of an opposite mentality of letting the ball absorb and being a little bit more floating with the basketball. We also need to learn how to be aggressive or assertive with the dribble. And one technique to help with that is understanding that we don't just dribble with the hand, we dribble with our elbow. So as I release and I'm assertive with that dribble, I'm trying to extend my elbow to where I'm pushing that arm through the ground. Almost like I'm trying to pin that basketball to the ground as hard as I can. So what we'll do in order to practice that is we'll give 2. 1, 2. And I just want us to hit ball down to the ground with that dribble hand and then receive it with dribble hand. 1, 2. We can use the other hand for guidance to help us with this drill, but we're really just going to practice pounding that ball to the ground as hard as we can. 1, 2. really pushing that ball through the ground. And in doing this, you're gonna really feel how it is to extend that elbow and dribble aggressively through the floor. It's also gonna help you with your ability to receive the basketball. So just like we talked about for the first point of absorbing the ball, I still need to practice absorbing this basketball in order to take care of it as it's coming up super aggressive. So you'll notice, as that ball hits my hand, I'm not just keeping my arm down here, I'm actually absorbing it from low pickup point all the way to this point, so that way I still have the opportunity in a game to be able to manipulate and get into space. So we'll do both sides. Do it for however long you need to feel comfortable with that rock. Be really aggressive. And once again, make sure when you hit that dribble, it comes up and hits that dribble hand. If this is too easy for you, then you guys can do one hand. 1, 2, 1, 2. Really pound that ball through the ground like you're trying to break the floor. 2. You guys are gonna notice, I'm a lefty, so when I was dribbling with my left hand, super loud, assertive dribbles, I need to work on that right hand a little bit. I heard how weak that dribble was. The third dribbling tip is gonna be understanding your dribble step. So whenever we run into space, we see a lot of players that are very unorthodox, very uncoordinated with the dribble. It's very hard for them to run as fast as they can with the basketball in their hand. And that's because they don't properly understand dribble timing. So it's very important, if I'm dribbling the ball in my left hand, I want to get comfortable with timing my steps accordingly. That means when I dribble, I want to be either in the act of stepping or allowing that opposite foot to hit the ground. So if I have dribble in left hand, my right foot is in the act of stepping or hitting the floor. So you'll notice as I dribble here, 1, 2, those are called dribble steps. So if you watch the best ball handlers in the game, they do an amazing job of getting into space, whether it's running, walking, by putting that dribble down as they're in the act of stepping or planting that opposite foot while it hits the floor. Plant, even on those retreats, still in the act of stepping, that's that dribble time, that proper dribble step rhythm. A great drill for us to do is just literally walking the floor when you guys get to the gym and practicing that dribble time. And once you walk a couple of series, say we go sideline to sideline. Once we walk through, you'll notice I'll absorb the basketball, I'll pull it to my pocket. I practice that dribble time where I'm putting that inside or that opposite foot down to the ground while I'm in the act of stepping or stepping that left foot. Once we get done with a few reps of going back and forth, just walking, then we can pick up our jog or our sprint. So when we do this jog or sprint, you're gonna notice you have hidden steps. Steps that are taken while that basketball is floating in the air. This is not a travel. As long as we keep that hand over top or on the side of the ball, maintaining or giving us the ability to dribble again. So if I'm dribbling here and I'm going into a jog, you're gonna notice I'll let that foot hit the ground, opposite foot hit the ground as I dribble, and then I'm gonna take those hidden steps. 1, 2, 3, dribble. 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 So if you go in real time, it'll look like this. Really pushing that dribble out. Keeping that hand on the side of the basketball so that we don't carry, really push. And time that dribble with the opposite foot hitting the floor. This is gonna help you guys so much with your ability to dribble as fast as you can while you can run as fast as you can. So that way you can maximize your abilities handling the ball in a game.
Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. I OD. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500